everybody, it's Chad from Stick's blog. I'm Stick, and today I would like to talk to you about my new Venom Super Stove. But I guess I need to go ahead and also throw in the point that I didn't really need another stove. Zelph had these stoves for an awesome steal, really, over the last couple of sales that he's had. So I decided I'd pick one up and add to my collection. And so far this is my collection. So as you can see, I definitely didn't need another stove. But it's always fun to get a stove. When I saw these stoves on his site, I realized that that would be a pretty cool little stove to have. So I picked up some, added them to my collection. Maybe I need to get some more cook pots to go with them. So anyway, enough about my growing stove collection or my cook pot collection. Right now I just want to talk to you about this stove. Like I said, this is the Venom Super Stove. Zelph sells these at his stores, and you can usually find him on some of the backpacking blogs like whiteblaze.net, such as that. But anyway, he's recently had a couple of sales. He had one for Memorial Day, he had one for Father's Day. I missed out on the one on Memorial Day, but whenever I saw the sale come back through for Father's Day, I decided I really need to pick one of these up. It really was a super sale. He was selling two of these sets for $18, and that included shipping. Now, for any stove nut out there, that would be a hard deal to pass up. So naturally, I jumped on one. But anyway, I just want to tell you about the stove itself a little bit. First off, the stove is listed to weigh 1.6 ounces. I put mine on my scale when it came in, and it weighed 1.7 ounces. Not a big deal there. The stove, as you can see, it has two levels, and I'll tell you about those in just a second. But from the ground to the top of this first level is 2 inches tall, and then from the ground to the top of the pot stand part is 2 5/8 inches tall. Now, the diameter from side to side on the top of the pot stand, not the pot, but the top of the, or not the stove, but the top of the pot stand, on mine measures 2 1/4 inches. Now, what that allows is it allows a lot of different size cook pots to be able to fit on it, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But anyway, the stove itself, like I say, it's made of a Venom energy drink can, and it's really interesting the way that he builds it. Whenever I first saw these stoves, I just thought it was essentially like any other stove, and I assumed that it had a bottom. But whenever it came in, I realized it doesn't have a bottom. So that's pretty cool right there. And essentially what it looks like he has done is he's basically taken the can and just flipped it inside on itself. And there's the can, it comes up, it comes over, and it comes out right here. Now, how he did this, I have no idea, but looking at it, it's cool, and I've spent a couple hours just staring at this thing thinking, how in the world did he get that done without crunching the can up and everything? I'd love to see how he does that. But anyway, I don't know. But it is pretty cool. But saying that, as far as the stove now, the stove is a double wall stove because, as you can see, it's the can, it makes a double wall there. And on the inside of the stove, it has a wicking material. Now, that's important to keep in mind because whenever you fill this stove, the way that you fill this stove is, first off, you have to find this white UPC barcode. It's on every stove that he makes. And this is where you will fill the stove. Now, there's two ways to do it. The first way is you can put your fuel inside the measuring cup, kind of tilt the stove back, and I don't know how well you can see it right there, but this is where he started making his wraps with the wick on the inside, and he came around, but then he stopped before he got there on the second round. That way there's only one layer of wick right there. So it's a little bit thinner than it is throughout the rest of the stove. But you take your fuel, you put it in your cup, you kind of tilt it back, and then you would pour it in. You can do it like that using the measuring cup, or you can take the neat little fuel bottle that comes with it with a flip top spout, and you can squirt it down in there like that. But you want to go slow because you don't want to squirt it fast or it'll start shooting out the sides and everything. Now, saying that, considering that this is a double wall stove, and as you can see, it's limited in the amount of room that's in there. You can't just keep putting fuel on the inside like you can a regular alcohol stove. It does have a limitation to its capacity. Now, according to the instructions, it has a 1 ounce capacity. Whenever you fill this thing up, once it fills up, you'll realize it, according to the instructions. I haven't done this yet, but you'll realize that it's full because you'll see the fuel start to pool on the top. Once it starts to pool on the top, you don't need to add any more fuel, and you might want to kind of dump some of it off. But anyway, according to the instructions, a ½ ounce of heat in the yellow bottle will boil 2 cups of water in a 2.5 aluminum cup cook pot within a couple of minutes, and a ½ ounce is, according to the instructions, is all that's needed. So I'm looking at using probably 3/4 ounce of fuel for each boil, just to be on the safe side. Another cool thing about this is once you put the fuel in, up to a ½ ounce of fuel, when you put it in here, if you accidentally knock this stove over, since the fuel is absorbed into the wicking material, it's not going to spill out. So that's a really cool feature for an alcohol stove, because typically it's all just sitting on the inside and you spill it out and you got liquid flames following you around. So that's a cool thing. But anyway, the other thing that I wanted to say, like I said, it does come with a 4-ounce flip top fuel bottle, and it comes with a little measuring cup and then the instructions. Now the cool thing about this stove is he says that it will adjust its flame to whatever size cook pot that you put on it. So if I take my Heineken can and put on there, the flame will adjust and stay underneath the Heineken cook pot like it should. Now of course too, you always want to use a windscreen with your cook pot, with your aluminum or your alcohol stove. You always want to use a windscreen. But the flame should adjust to that, or if I wanted to put, well, I've done put everything up, but if I wanted to put something else with a wider base on it, the flame would adjust to that too. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool in itself for an alcohol stove. Another thing that's really cool is with most alcohol stoves, at least that I've had, you've had to fill the stove full of fuel. You've had to light it and wait on it to prime. With this one, you put the fuel inside the can, or like I told you, you put the fuel in there, put the cook pot on it, and then you light it. You don't have to wait on it to prime, so you don't have to, you're not worrying about wasted fuel. So that's a cool thing there. So anyway, this stove, in my opinion, has a lot of potential. Like I say, a built-in pot support, won't spill the alcohol fuel out. It's essentially hollow, so that's not going to take up any room. You could probably put this in anything that you want it. So it's going to be very space efficient, and I don't know, it's just a cool little stove. The only thing that I might could see is it does have a little bit of give, since the bottom has got this rolled lip, so it's pretty strong on that end, but this end is not, so you'd still want to be careful not to step on it. But if you take care of your gear, it shouldn't be a problem. So anyway, now that I've told you a little bit about the stove, kind of give you some of my first impressions, what I'd like to say is that I mentioned this earlier in the video, that whenever I bought this setup, it came with 2 stoves, and it also came with 2 fuel bottles, 2 measuring cups, and 2 sets of instructions. Now what I'd like to do is, of course, I'm going to keep one of them for myself. That's why I ordered the thing. What I would like to do with the other one is I would like to give it away on my blog. I've got to say thank you to all the people that has recently been coming by my blog, leaving comments, and just pretty much kind of supporting my blog. I've noticed here lately I've been getting a lot more hits on my blog, and I really do appreciate the people that come by and take the time to share with me their experiences and their opinions. And anyway, just as my gesture to say thank you, I would like to give away one of these stoves on my blog, because like I said, I did get 2 of them, and to be honest with you, whenever I ordered it, that was my intentions, was to give one away. So the items that will be given away, of course, will be one of the stoves, one of the measuring cups, one of the 4-ounce fuel bottles, and 1 set of instructions. Everything will be free. I'll pay for shipping to send it to you. And basically all that I would like you to do to enter the contest, I would like you to just post on the bottom of this page, for this post, just post why you would like to use this, or to have this stove, and what cook pot would you plan on using with it. That's simple. Just 2 little things. Just post down on the bottom of the page why you would like to have the cook pot and what cooks, or why you would like to have the stove and what cook pot you would use with it. And I'm going to do this for, I think, probably 3 weeks. I'll have to get my calendar out and look at a date to be the last end date, and I'll let it run for, like I say, probably about 3 weeks, just to kind of make sure I get everybody in there that wants to have a chance at winning it. And once everybody's in there and I shut it down, I'll use random.org to pick a winner. Once I pick the winner, I'll go ahead and post it in a new posting on here on my blog, and whoever it is, if that person can just get in contact with me via email, and I'll get their physical address, and I'll get it in a box and I'll get it shipped to them as soon as possible. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to say thank you. I think these are awesome little stoves, and I think that it would be a nice little gift for somebody to win. So again, thanks everybody for watching, my videos, for reading my blog, and just helping my blog grow. I do appreciate it, and I guess I'm gonna end on that. So good luck to everybody who enters, and I'll be seeing you soon. See you later.